On the news at 1, President Bola Tinubu says, with the new economic trajectories, Nigeria is poised to succeed soon. A new managing director of the Abuja Investment Company Limited appointed. And on sports, Super Falcons take on Banyana of South Africa today in an Olympic qualifiers. Hello and welcome to the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jitubo. We start from the presidency. President Bola Tinubu is beaming with new assurances that, with the new economic trajectories, Nigeria is poised to succeed soon enough for the ultimate benefits of the citizenry. The president yet again renewed the hope of Nigerians when he hosted members of business community in the country to an iftar at the State House. State House correspondent Musbah Wahab has more.
A seasoned businessman in the midst of familiar faces. Warm pleasantries and mutual respect were in order. Another gathering in the spirit of a season.
And these are very critical in transforming a business as in transforming a country.
What you've done is to show statesmanship. You are thinking of Nigeria, not of Nigeria of today, but Nigeria also of the future.
Now we have an administration and a presidency that is interested in the opinion of the people that they are there to govern.
But I think what we are giving the right attention growth. Thank you.
But for the captain of the team himself, it is hope unending, imbued with confidence, assuring that Nigeria is already descending the challenging hills of the economy, occasioned by policies for better prosperity.
Nigeria is a self-believer and can always deliver on its own. Whatever, they call us in the past, we know our first name and our last name. Our first name is Spirit, our last name is Kandu.
Banking on the can-do spirit of Nigerians, the president equally expresses belief in the partnership with the private sector to take Nigeria higher.
It's very, very inspiring to move on, cut the cost, twist the bends, summon courage, and behave rightly. Save the money, but push the economy. We will be there. There are some countries that have failed. There are some countries that have succeeded. But in your time, in our time, in my time, all of us must work together to succeed. Thank you very much.
And from the indications emanating from here, this is just the beginning of gathering of this nature to find the right and enduring direction for Nigeria's economic prosperity. From the State House, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu, as chairman of ECOWAS heads of states and government, is tasking the ECOWAS Parliament to continue to reinforce its efforts in contributing to the preservation of unity of the region. It was at the inaugural session of the 6th Legislature of ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja. Again, State House correspondent Musbah Wahab reports.
Chairman, ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Governments had the first opportunity of physical interface with the legislative arm of his community. He is certainly conscious of the necessity for cooperation and collaboration with the parliaments in moving the regional bloc forward and in pursuit of the economic prosperity and integration objectives of the ECOWAS. as he continues his assignment as the chairman of the community. The new members of the 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament come in handy and ready for the current realities in West Africa. While the region is still grappling with its share of insecurity, climate change, among other challenges, President Tinubu says the consideration of 3 member states to vacate their membership as another existential challenge for the bloc.
At this critical junction, regional solidarity is imperative to strengthening our resiliency and effectiveness as a bloc, particularly against forces that aim to divide us. We must not allow this. We cannot afford to remain passive and ordinary spectators while our community faces the threat of disintegration. We stand united against such forces and are committed to ensuring that our unity remains unshaken.
With various global, continental and sub-regional agenda for sustainable development, the ECOWAS chairman says only an enduring stability can drive growth for the sub-region, which he said must be championed by member states.
We must ensure that cooperation among us is strengthened with a view to building a sense of common destiny and purpose. No one can do this for us. We are the ones to do it. Please take that seriously in your legislative considerations and in your various interactions. It is very imperative that you take seriously that we have to build the economic prosperity of our region by ourselves.
It is therefore imperative that the Parliament continues to work in synergy with the ECOWAS Commission and other institutions that serve as the executive and judicial arms of our organization. Indeed, collaboration between the Commission, Court, and Parliament is essential to ensure the smooth implementation of policies and programs that benefit our citizens.
Nigeria promised continued support to the cause of the Parliament and the community as a whole.
Electricity Regulatory Commission fines Abuja Electricity Regulatory Commission fines Abuja Electricity Distribution Company AEDC 200 million naira for failure to comply with the prescribed customer band classifications for the new tariff billing. The decision follows detailed review and customer feedback, which revealed that AEDC had applied a new tariff to all customer bands, contrary to the order, which was designed to ensure fair billing practices. The Commission directs AEDC to reimburse all customers in band B, C, D, and E respectively that were billed above the allowed customer categories and tariff bands provided in the order. All reimbursements should be issued to the affected customers by 11th April 2024, and evidence of compliance with the directives on fine and reimbursement be filed with the Commission by 12th April 2024. The Commission says it is committed to protecting consumer rights and ensuring equitable practices within Nigeria's electricity sector. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has approved the appointment of Ambassador Maureen Tamuno as the new Managing Director of the Abuja Investment Company Limited. In a statement by the Director of Press to the Minister, Anthony Ogunleye, Dr. Tamuno is an experienced public officer, entrepreneur, and diplomat. She served as the Nigerian High Commissioner to Jamaica, Belize, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. Her appointment takes immediate effect. In another development, the minister has terminated with immediate effect the contract of Measures Integrated Facility Management Services Limited on the management of the International Conference Center, Abuja, while Julius Berger Nigeria PLC has been contracted for the immediate comprehensive renovation of the International Conference Center, Abuja. in what seemed to be an effective strategy in the fight against trailer crashes. Federal Road Safety Corps Interagency Joint Task Force has arrested 35 trailers conveying 982 passengers. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
It will be recalled that recently the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps Dauda Alibio established an interagency joint task force against conveyance of humans with animals and goods by trailers. Obviously, it's evident that it's not business as usual with the recent arrest of 35 trailers conveying 982 passengers. A total of 19 trailers carrying 810 people were apprehended at the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, while the Joint Task Force team covering Bauchi-Maiduguri General Operation Area of the Corps also arrested 16 trailers conveying 172 passengers on that route. These arrests were perfected within the first 1 week of operation. While the special operation is going on, the Corps Marshal has directed sector commanders of the states where the act is more prominent to sustain ongoing engagement with the leadership of road transport unions as well as owners of articulated vehicles to ensure that drivers who engage in such traffic violations are cautioned. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. Still to come on the news. Building bridges of peace with Almighty God in focus as Islamic society hosts Christian faithful. These and more in just a moment. Do stay.
Good evening, glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The
Unity Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Good to know you're there. Community and religious leaders have underscored the importance of peace building, particularly when the necessary value system is entrenched among divergent groups in the society, irrespective of creed. This message was put forward at an interfaith dialogue by the Global Peace Foundation Nigeria aimed at mainstreaming peaceful coexistence in Abuja and the country. Abdullahi Ajia reports on the grassroots mobilization program held at the Sapei's Palace in Garki, Abuja.
It was a gathering of religious, community and traditional leaders which opened up an opportunity for speakers to teach, advise and re-emphasize the imperative of peace building. This challenged all to be champions that will help promote the values of tolerance, good conduct, sanctity of life and values of love as well as public safety.
Government should also take it up from there. They should invest in peace. I'm not saying they should not invest in security and defense, but when they invest in peace, it will be cheaper, it will be easier, it will be much more enduring.
And we should work for the well-being of everybody. To do that is to reach back to our basic humanity.
With presence in more than 20 countries of the world and over a decade of global impact on this subject matter, representatives of the organization say its "One Family Under God" slogan suggests that humanity must always unite in building bridges of cohesion while growing a culture of solving problems that threaten peace through dialogue.
Peace in Abuja is very important because we want this also to reach other corners of our country. And as you know, the Global Peace Foundation applies the values-based approach to peace building.
Unless there's a connect between these people and the policymakers, then you don't have the reality. You keep chasing shadows. So we are showing that, look, there's this group of people that are important. listen to them, work with them. And we are actually saying, look, this effort is about collaboration.
District heads and clerics were enjoined not only to support the vision objective of the organization, but to take the message to their followers considering its timeliness. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Meanwhile, about 300 intending pilgrims to Israel and Jordan are expected to be airlifted for the last batch of the 2023 pilgrimage exercise to the Holy Lands. Deborah Gazajimaika reports that this was disclosed at the ongoing screening exercise for a hitch-free pilgrimage.
Screening exercise is ongoing for the last batch of December 2023, intending pilgrims to the Holy Land of Israel and Jordan. Pilgrimage is a spiritual.
This exercise will go a long way in helping to bring in peace and unity to our nation.
He says there is a need for intending pilgrims to conduct themselves both properly home and abroad for a hitch-free exercise. Acting Director FCT Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board, Rahila Issa Beta, reminds intending pilgrims to see the exercise as a form of spiritual upliftment that will enhance and better their lives with their Creator.
Let me say about 300, hopefully, that will travel with us by the grace of God. We don't have a date yet. It's almost after the screening. We know the numbers that scale through, and then they will give us a date. The screening, we know the numbers that scale through, and then they will give us a date. Yeah, but it should be within this month and early May.
The commission is yet to commence preparations for the 2024 pilgrimage exercise in Abuja. Deborah Gazajimaika, NTA News.
Building bridges of peace connecting with Almighty God, as well as fostering understanding, respect, and unity among all communities was the message to the Nigerian faithful during the break of interfaith fast hosted by the Al-Habibia Islamic Society of Nigeria in Guzape, Abuja. Hawagimba captured some of the moments.
As Muslims all over the world round off the 2024 Ramadan, as well as usher in the Eid al-Fitr celebration, the Al-Habibia Islamic Society hosted the Christian faithful with a view to preaching tolerance and peaceful coexistence, irrespective of religious leaning.
Knowing ourselves is being good to ourselves. It's being friendly to ourselves, and that's what can make the life even easy.
Clerics and scholars at the breaking of the fast, in one voice, appreciated the initiative of the Al-Habibia Islamic Society, saying the importance of all faiths coming together to observe the breaking of fast is to remind selves of the strength and beauty found in our diversity.
What we saw here today is a reflection and the expression of our humanity.
The goal is having a united, peaceful Nigeria.
So we must realize that we have one thing that binds us together, and that is nationhood.
A fellowship whereby that brings together Christians, Muslims, especially at the top level.
So from my experience, our fighting, our quarrels, our disagreement about religion is lack of faith in God. Because everything that God made, He has made them in varieties.
While calling on Nigerians to emulate the initiative of different faiths to break fast during the holy month of Ramadan, clerics further stress on the need for all Nigerians to pray for the peace and progress of Nigeria over every challenge being faced. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Over now to the business desk for business news.
Okay. Naira appreciates in parallel and official markets. Well, on that note, I welcome you to Business News this week. I'm Hakimat Aliu. The Naira on Wednesday appreciated to 1,240 per dollar at parallel section of the foreign exchange market. The current FX rate signifies an increase of 0.80% from the 1,250 per dollar reported on April 1. Currency traders, also known as street traders, In Lagos, quoted the buying rate of the local currency at 1,220 naira and the selling rate at 1,240 naira. At the official window, the local currency was appreciated by 1.25% against the dollar from 1,278.58%. On April 2 to close at 1,262.85 naira on Wednesday, according to FMDQ Exchange, a platform that oversees the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market. The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria has reviewed the selection process of beneficiaries for a 5 billion naira credit facility allotted meant for small businesses in the country. With the new procedure, the agency has mandated the submission of Corporate Affairs Commission certificate and tax identification number as a compulsory requirement to obtain the loan. The head of Corporate Affairs, Moshood Lawal, made the disclosure. That's it on Business News this week. It's back to the studio for the continuation of the news.
And for trending news in the sports world, here is Sports Brief.
All is now set for the crunch first leg of the final round qualifying fixture for the Paris 2024 women's football event between Nigeria and South Africa at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Speaking ahead of the counter, Super Falcons coach Randy Wardrum revealed that the nighttime African champions will be all out for the needed result that will put them in a strong position ahead of the second leg.
We certainly respect South Africa. We know what they bring. We know the talent that they possess, and we know they're a great side, but we feel very strongly that we've got we're the team to beat, and we feel very confident going into the match.
Similarly, head coach of South Africa's Banyana, Desiree Ellis, acknowledged the pressure of playing against the Super Falcons at home, but expressed confidence that her team will rise to the challenge.
I think the magnitude of the game itself is bigger because it's number one and number two in Africa, and that's Nigeria and South Africa, and that's what makes it so big.
Meanwhile, Minister of Sports Development John Eno has charged football enthusiasts in Abuja to come out in large numbers to cheer the Super Falcons to victory.
I mean, there's no fun playing at home when you don't find the crowd and the spectators having to cheer you up. Then it makes a home match almost the same like playing away.
And before we go, a quick reminder of some top stories. We told you that President Tinubu has reassured Nigerians to succeed with the new economic trajectories. A Super Falcon of Nigeria will battle Banyana of South Africa later today at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. And with that, we end the news at 1. Do join us at 7 for more news. Enjoy the rest of the day.